Cheap Not Broke fam, what is happening? Turn my mic on. There we go. How's everybody doing? If you're new to the channel, thank you for tuning in. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You know the drill. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell everybody. Tell everybody at work. Hey, tune in to Cheap Not Broke. They saving me all this money. My name is Malcolm Hall. I am the host of the show, and this is Cheap Not Broke, where we talk all things saving money, where we help you find value, find the best bang for your buck. Tongue tied. And we are the Cheap Not Broke fam. So if you join the club, everybody that's a part of the group, the movement, we are Cheap Not Broke fam. And as you know, tonight we like to get straight into it. I don't like to mess around. I like to get straight into it. Tonight we're talking about rent and how to get your rent paid. If you don't know, the writer's strike just ended. Woo! So, those people get back to work and get back to getting your TV shows, getting your favorite programs. Because I know you've been sitting over there watching them badass movies on Tubi. You've seen the movies on Tubi. Man, now look, I don't hate on Tubi because it does take a lot to make a movie. I made a couple movies. Well, I've been in quite a few movies, never made one of my own, but it takes a whole lot of stuff to make these movies, man. So shout out to those people over there at Tubi making those badass movies, man. And if you get a chance, man, go to cheapnotbroke.com. Go to cheapnotbroke.com. You can watch my comedy special. You can grab some merchandise. And you can also get my travel guide so you can learn how to travel for free. It's for your first time travel. It's for your first time traveler. Some people have never traveled before, so check that out. So look, let's get on into it, man. I don't want to play around because this is serious business. Because people got to get their rent paid, and in Los Angeles County, they do have a program. LA, Los Angeles Housing Authority does have a program. Well, it does help people pay their rent. So let's look at that. I want to go through it and show you all how this works. Now, you may not be in Los Angeles, but this still can benefit you some. So this is the United House of Los Angeles Emergency Renters Assistance Program. The application opened on September 19th. September 19th, excuse me. That's when the application opened, and it closes October 2nd, 2023. So if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be Monday. Let me double check my calendar real quick. That's going to be on that's Monday. That's just coming Monday. So that thing is going to close. So if you're just watching this video, if you watch this video, if you're not watching live, you watch any time past this date, October 2nd is the important date. That's when it closes, 6 p.m. So if you put it in at 6 p.m., you're late. You need to have this thing in by 5 p.m. Don't wait that late. Get it in. Now, let's give you some background. The city of Los Angeles has created a new rental assistance program funded through the United House of Los Angeles, ULA, measure to assist low-income residential renters who are at risk from homelessness due to unpaid rent as a result of COVID-19. So these are people from COVID-19, but basically this is not COVID related. Anybody who's been having problems or needing assistance paying their rent from COVID related issues, which is back to 2020, you qualify for the program. Now, eligibility and information. The program will cover up to 6 months of rent, and to be eligible, a household must obtain or pay rent on a residential dwelling or meet the following requirements. Now, have I used this program? Now I'm gonna give you some background on this program. I myself have used this program. Right before COVID, 2019, I was on unemployment. My job fired me. They let me go, and I was on unemployment. And I didn't have any income at the time. So at that time, and my income was low, I wasn't making a ton of money. So I qualified for the parameters, get my rent paid for 6 months. Now, here's the thing about this program. Before we get back to it, let me tell you this. I need you to understand this real quick. Let me look at you. Let me tell you this about this program before you get into it, before you apply. The money does not come overnight. It's going to take you a little time to get this bread. This money, it takes like 4 or 5 months. And the paperwork might be wrong. So if you have to submit the paperwork again, you got to start over. You get pushed to the back. Now, you still get your money. It's not like they kicked you out the program, but it's extending the time that you're going to get this stuff. So look, this is the government. These are the same people that can't get the elections right. These are the same people that I see them ride around the street cleaning machines, and they still dirty. So this is the government. They are not perfect at any way, shape, or form, but they do offer you and give you opportunity to get this money. So I just wanted to point that out. The money does not come overnight. So I don't want you to apply for this program and think the money's going to come in 2 weeks. That's not going to happen. So just be aware that it's going to take you a little bit of time to get this bread, get this money. All right, back to the regular schedule program. All right, so you have to be a resident of Los Angeles, or regardless immigration status. So I mean, basically, you got to have a residence. So I don't know how that works. Being an immigrant, you don't have a residence. You got to have an ID card. You got to have something say you're state resident in California. One or more individuals with household experience or loss of employment, reduction in household income, or the significant loss of cost. So I was able to apply because I was under the well, there you go, experience loss of employment, bam. So I fell under the loss of employment, and I was on unemployment. Now that didn't mean I didn't have money. They don't go check your bank account and say how much money you got. I had money, I saved money, but I also needed my rent paid. Why wouldn't I use the assistance if it was there for me? So because you never know, I was on unemployment, things could have ran out. And but like I said, I didn't even get the money. I got the money I got a job before the money came through. So you know, you can't depend on this stuff immediately, but you got to depend on it at some point. Anyway, 23 HUD household low income limits for Los Angeles. So in order to qualify, you got to make, if you live by yourself, you got to make 70,000. That's a, wait a minute, hold on, that's not money. With $650,000, that's not bad. That's pretty good. So if you make 70,650, well, boy, time out. Here's the catch. This is before taxes. So let's say you do make 70,000, you're probably living off of 56. So you're not even living off of this number. This is the game they play with you. You got to have low income, 80% of the median. So 70,000, that's a percentage of the median. So basically what they're saying is you got to make $70,000 before taxes to qualify. You have to have lost your job, and you have to be experience reduction in income and a significant loss in cost. So you got to have lost your money and lost some job or something like that. But you got to prove this stuff. They're not going to just give you the money. 2 people in the household, $80,000. So basically, that's not much. So that means 2 people in the household, y'all both are making 40,000, because that's the only way you're gonna come up with 80. 3 persons, 90,000. 4 persons, 100. These numbers are kind of skewed because let's be honest, if you got 3 people in the house, y'all would have to be making $30,000 a year. I mean, 30,000 a piece. That's not a lot. I mean, this works if you make one person making 70. That's not bad. But once you get to more persons, it's not as cut and dry, because one person might be making 40, the other person might be making 50. Now you're at 90. You have 2 persons instead of 3 persons. You don't qualify. So they do have these donut holes, as I like to say, and these ways in here that you're not going to qualify for the program. Shout out to everybody's listening, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. But yeah, they do have these ugly donut holes to make sure that you can't qualify, because what happens is, you see, so you make 70,000 one person. That's not terrible in Los Angeles, but you're not broke. If you make 70,000, I made 70,000. You can get an apartment, you qualify, you can live a decent life in Los Angeles. Now I don't know if you're going to have 2 cars and do all that other stuff. 70,000, it's okay. You're not homeless. You're probably not living on the 5th floor. You're probably on the 1st floor. Okay, you probably got a couple, people hanging outside your door, but that's cool. But when you get to 80,000 for 2 people, that's like 48. That's $40,000 a piece. And let me tell you, if you are a little bit over, like $100, $200, they're not going to qualify you for the program. They're really cutthroat like that. So I don't really think that's fair for the program, because these people really out here hurting, and they don't really make any exceptions. And then they make it hard because you got to send all these documents in. So how to apply? Let's roll down here real quick. How to apply? Uploading the documents, you will expedite your process of the application. So it's really important to know what you got to send in, because you don't send the right stuff in, you're not going to get the money. Pay attention. Reading is fundamental. That's why traffic be backed up, because people don't read the sign. You knew you had to get your ass over long before we got up here to the splitting in the intersection. But people don't do that. They don't read the signs. Then they want to get over this way, get over that way. And that's why traffic be backed up. People don't read. Anyway, proof of identification, such as government issued identification card with a photo ID. All right, that means that, let me tell you something. You can't show up with your ID card. All right, that ain't going, not your library card. You can't show up with that. You can't show up with a picture on Instagram talking about this me. That ain't gonna work. Proof of residence of tenancy. That means you got to have a bill, a utility bill, electric bill, gas bill, something like that that's associated with the city. Because in order to get lights and gas, you gotta have an apartment. You gotta have a residence. So you need that. You need proof of financial hardship, such as loss of employment. You got to have the separate papers from your job that let you go. Reducing household income. That might be providing some bank statements, or you got to show some way that you lost the money. Reduction in household income incurred significant loss. Now you might have lost a family member, or now significant loss is tricky because they don't necessarily really define what is significant loss. So you can play a game with the significant loss. Good evening. What's up, Devin? How you doing, man? Appreciate you coming through. Significant loss. So, man, well, I'm just dropping some dimes on this renter's insurance, man. Help people get this money. If you do live in Los Angeles, this applies to you. But if you don't, drop a comment where you do live, and I will look up the program and I will send you that information because I want to make sure everybody got somewhere to stay out here. Proof of financial hardship or loss. So this is a little bit difficult because that might be losing somebody. You might have lost your car. So it's a couple of different things because, for example, if you lose your car, how you gonna get to work? You know, in Los Angeles, there's not subways all over the place. You might have to catch the bus, or you might live out somewhere far where there is no public transportation. That's a significant loss. So if you can't get to work, you can't pay your rent because you're not making any money. So you would qualify. Other financial hardship between March 2020 and now. I don't know. You might have had some hospital bills, all kind of stuff that you racked up. So it's a number of things that could have happened to you between now and then. Oh, Devin, I'm a lady. My bad. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What's happening? I appreciate y'all showing up from Dewan's show. Yeah, man, I was on Dewan's show earlier, dropping some dimes, and you know, this is what I do. Yeah, he was. I find the programs. I let people know what's going on because it's free money out here. You know, people always depend on the programs for like food stamps and all this other stuff. The government got a lot of money out here for your business, all kind of stuff. The government got money. You pay taxes. It's not free. It ain't free money because you pay taxes. Every time you buy something, you pay city tax, you pay state tax, local tax, crazy man tax, police tax, black tax, all kind of damn taxes. So there's no such thing as free money. You paid your taxes. So don't let these people think you're getting free stuff out here. All right. So this is what you need. It's not, this is how to apply online. All right. When you go down here to apply in person. Now, if I wouldn't, if you got to apply in person, do what you have to do. But I would suggest if you have internet or a family member, don't do this online because you're gonna go in here. You're now you're putting your head you're putting your faith in another person. What if they lose the paperwork? What if they don't give a damn? What if it's time for them to get off work and they don't turn the paperwork in? You're not going to know that. So you want to make sure you're paying from all that. What's happening, Mark? He's from the LA area, Chicago. He's from Chicago. So, okay, cool. We're going to jump into Chicago and see what's going on over in Chicago. Because I know Chicago got some programs. Y'all got a lot of people over there, too. It's a metropolitan city. Most metropolitan cities, big cities, do have these programs. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now, this just happened to pop up. I get up every morning, I read the news, and I saw this program open back up. Look, it opened up on the 19th, and it's closing on the 2nd. That already let you know they don't really want that many people to try to get in. They didn't announce it nowhere. It's not on the news because if it was on the news, it would fill up in 24 hours and nobody would get it. So they don't put this stuff out here. When they got these free money and these programs for people, they don't put all this stuff out here. So, hey, Mark, if you're out here in LA, man, I'm going to drop the link for this down in the chat for y'all. It's lahousing.lacity.org. So, but real quick, I want to show you something else real quick because not only do they have the renters program, let me show you how much people are paying out here for rent. Because a lot of people in LA, the average house in LA costs $1 million. $1 million damn. And do you see some of these damn houses in some of these neighborhoods? I was watching Dewan's show. You seen some of these houses where you're standing in the hood where the gangbangers is at. Look, them houses cost $1 million too. Don't think you just gonna go in the hood and get a house for $40,000. That's not gonna happen. Houses cost money for everybody. Black, white, don't matter. They're going to charge you for these homes. So you got to make sure you have money. And that's why it's important to have your credit together. Because if you don't have no credit, you're not getting no apartment or no house. So, all right. This is Rent Cafe. And this is the average rent in the United States. So I went and found this because I want to see how much are people paying. Where's a decent place to pay rent? Now in Alabama, oh shit. I didn't even think people in Alabama had apartments. I thought everybody had a house or a trailer. No disrespect to you from Alabama. No disrespect. But when you look at pictures of Alabama, you don't see too many, sky rises or anything like that in Alabama. So I would thought the rent would be cheaper in Alabama. But hell, it's $1,200. And that's 987 square feet. That ain't that bad. Now in Alaska, where you're going to freeze your ass off, you're going to have frostbite. You're going to have frost on you as soon as you walk out the house. $1,300. Now, does that come with heat? It better come with heat and some firewood $1,300 in Alaska. Arizona, $1,600, $1,619, and that's not including your AC bill. So if you don't hear you from AZ, Arizona costs a hell of a lot of money. I know AZ. Oh shit, where am I at? Yeah, AZ, they hitting you in the head with that AC bill. That's crazy. Arkansas, let me tell you something about Arkansas. Arkansas is only $1,000, 17. That's not bad. Here's the crazy law about Arkansas. Arkansas, if you don't pay your rent, they can evict you within, I want to say, 3 days. And they can take it to the court and get you out within 7 days. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I got to do my research again. But Arkansas is the quickest state that you can get evicted from. So if you don't pay your rent in Arkansas, they can have you up out of there and in court within 7 days. Now in Los Angeles, that's like a 6-month process. We got all these squatters laws. So people be breaking in people's houses, moving in. You go on vacation, come back. You got a homeless man and he your roommate. You got to evict him. You got to pay to get him kicked out and he broke in. Ain't that a bitch? That's how they do it out here. California. Now, I live in California, but let me tell you right now, I'm not paying $2,500. No, sir. I am not paying that. California is just high as hell. I mean, it is what it is. Why is California so high? Well, everybody want to stay out here. Everybody want to be a movie star and all this TV and all this other stuff. So they raise the rent. Now, California is the state of California. That's not Los Angeles. Because a lot of times when you hear Los Angeles, everybody's like, oh, Los Angeles is expensive as hell. Well, wait a minute. Los Angeles is a city. California is a whole state. What you talking about? Everybody like, oh man, California is so expensive. Wait a minute. Have you looked north of San Francisco? It's nothing but mountains up there. There's nothing going on. Everybody in California is in Southern California or in San Francisco. You got the whole middle of the state. Nobody's really out there. Matter of fact, look at the United States. If you ever fly out west, New Mexico, Utah, Idaho, don't nobody stay out there. How much is they rent? All the rent, here's why all the rent is in the big cities. People live outside the city and they're not paying as much. Now, you got to give a trade-off. Now, you might pay more in rent. You live outside the city, you're going to have more land. You got to have a car and all that other stuff. But I'm just saying, California is a state. For those who forget, California is a state. Los Angeles is a city. So everybody, the whole state of California ain't LA. Colorado, $1,900. That's not bad. I've been to Colorado. Colorado, you're gonna need a car. Colorado is big as hell, and it get cold, so you gotta match that heating bill. Connecticut, $1,900. That's not bad considering you're right outside New York. And I'm mad they don't have New York on this list, but I know New York is comparable with California and DC. I'm pretty sure New York is gonna be about 27. And good old Florida, where I'm from, $1,900. And Florida, that come with a pistol and an alligator. So if you go get an apartment in Florida, you're going to get your gun and alligator. Just come with the lease because, they do things different down in Florida. Our big partner, Cheap Not Broke, dropping big facts. Good looking. Saw you on Crab Facts. What's up, brother? I appreciate you coming through. Yeah, man, we dropping these facts on this rent. Because, listen, people out here paying rent. People out here paying rent and falling behind. They're about to get evicted. In California, they don't give a damn. Let me tell you, in California, you see homeless people all over the place. And here's what they don't tell you about homelessness. A lot of homelessness is caused by the government. If you go to jail, I want everybody to think about this. If you go to jail for 30 days, who's going to pay your rent? Who's going to pay your electric bill? Who's going to tell the job you locked up? Your life can fall apart in 35 days. You can't do anything. You can't pay no bills, can't pay the rent. You can't tell the job. Nobody know where you're at. You locked up in jail. Now you're going to have an eviction notice. You don't have a job anymore. You got to access your savings. If you don't have anybody to take care of this stuff for you, your whole life will fall apart in 30 days. And people go to jail for like 90 days and stuff in these extended periods of time. They don't have anybody on the outside taking care of business for them. And then you come back out, your life is in shambles. You got to pay your parole officer. Like people, it costs money to go to jail. Jail ain't free. You're not just going to jail, coming out for free. No, you got to pay parole officer. You got to pay, sometimes you got to pay fines because you get fined. You go to jail, you do your time, and you owe money. And then they're going to expect you to start paying for this stuff in like 30 to 60 days. And if you can't pay, you're going back to jail. So America is really a debtor's prison. You can't pay, you go back to jail. What's the difference between a debtor? The definition of a debtor's prison is if you can't pay the money, you're going to jail. Taxes, you can't pay the money, you're going to jail. They're going to lock you. You seen Wesley Snipes? Passenger 57. Wesley Snipes was kicking all that ass in the 90s. New Jack City, kicking ass. Then he went to jail for taxes. I'm like, come on, man. I thought Wesley Snipes went to jail for whooping ass. He went to jail for taxes because they don't play that. White, black, pay taxes, they're not playing with you. And one thing about taxes is they're not going to tell you up front. They're not going to tell you what up front what's going on. So look, let's check this out. Let's try. We got somebody from Chicago on tonight. Let's see what Chicago got going on. Let me look and see Chicago Rent Assistance Program. There we go. Chicago Rent Assistance 2023. Bam. Is that Chicago? No, that is not Chicago. That's a little white girl. We don't want that. All right. All Chicago Rent Assistance. Here we go. Bam. Found it right there. So look, this is the little stuff that people don't even know. If you got a family member, somebody struggling, just hop on Google real quick and just Google emergency assistance program. And there you go. You'll find it. All Chicago's mission is to unite community and resources to provide solutions and ensure that sustainability of home. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't get all that out right. But here we go. All right, where is the program? In homelessness, emergency financial assistance, BAM, community partnerships, data analytics. We don't need that. We want emergency financial assistance. We need that money. In 2022, we served over 7,000 households, providing over $37 million in assistance. Now, here we go. Flexible Fund. The Flexible Finance Fund is a primary program for the emergency fund. It is designed to prevent sudden financial setback from becoming a long-term financial crisis. And this doesn't look as cut and dry as in LA. LA homelessness is really bad. So, you can find a program all over the place. Homelessness is bad. LA, let me tell you something. If you ever come to Los Angeles, I know, Mark, you stay out here, you're going to see somebody with either a tent or somebody going to have some luggage. I'd be in the grocery store. I'm like, why the hell has everybody got luggage? The airport 50 miles that way. Homeless. Homelessness is real. A lot of people be out here, be dressed up nice. I saw somebody with some Gucci on and homeless. I said, brother, you should trade that in for an apartment. But he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to hear what I had to say. Homelessness is a real thing out here. And let me tell you something. LA don't give a damn about you. If you can't pay, you got to go. You got to get your ass up out of here. But back to this Chicago available funds. So Chicago does have a state of homeless prevention fund. Chicago does have an emergency program for rent assistance. Now, LA, the reason why it got opened back up in Los Angeles is because we had the writer's strike out here. The writer's strike just ended. So that just ended today. So a lot of those writers, they couldn't pay their bills. Writers don't everybody in Hollywood is not famous. If you watch any TV show, most of the time they're not famous. So these people still got to pay their bills and they still have to figure out a way to make it. And they might be on TV, but hell, TV don't pay that much unless you're the star, just like a sports team, just no different than sports. You see LeBron, you see Steph Curry, but you don't know half of the guys on the bench, but they still got to make a living. They still got to work too. So if something like when the league goes on strike, the big guys at the top are straight. It's the people at the bottom that be suffering. And it happens all over the place. It happened with the writers. It happened with UPS. Well, UPS, you don't have nobody making millions of dollars except the people at the top, not the workers. But everybody else suffers when this kind of stuff happens. So everybody needs programs, man. Bankruptcy, that's a program for rich people. Believe it or not, bankruptcy is a program for rich folk. Most people can't go get into bankruptcy, but bankruptcy allows you to consolidate. You can't borrow any money, but if you wealthy, people with money. It don't matter. You don't need to go to no bank. I'm going to call one of my rich homeboys and he going to loan me $100,000. You ain't got to worry about all that. So, yeah, that's what it's on, man. I just wanted to come on here tonight and jump on this emergency rent program. I'm going to go back over it one more time, show everybody, make sure you got it. Because listen, and cheap not broke, we all about that. We all about having fun, laughing and good stuff like that. But it is about educating people, showing them what you need to know about this money. I did go to school for accounting. I do it for a living, and I see all kind of stuff. Every day I learn something new. Money's it's amazing. It's amazing. If money was that easy to understand, it wouldn't be a profession. People go to school and major in finance because it's really complicated. But like I said, here's the program. The eligibility for the program ends October 2nd, 6 p.m. If you really need this, go take care of that today. When you get off this call or you get off YouTube, if you're on YouTube right now watching me, get on here, housing.lacity.org. Get your ass on there and go apply and get this money. Make sure you get everything you need. Everything that you need to have on here, have it. Proof of identification, current past due bills, that needs to be a utility. You can't have no Amazon bill because anybody can have an Amazon bill sent to them. So you need to have an actual utility from the city, and you need to have proof of financial hardship, whether that's you lost your job, whether that you could have lost a loved one and that's some income, you lost your car got repo, you got just hit with child support. Fellas, I know you got child support out there. You might got hit with child support. That's financial hardship because they on your ass. So you're like, hey, look, I can't pay the child support, but y'all can pay this rent and we can figure it out on the backside. So make sure you do that. If you do want to apply by phone, the number is 1-888-379-3150. That is the number. That's how you find all this stuff out, And that's what it is, man. That's what I do. I come on here, I drop dimes, I let y'all know. I do stand-up comedy. So if you want to go to my page, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching right now, Payback Porter, I appreciate you. Devin Haley, which is a lady, my bad. Thank you for watching. And Mark, what's up, Mark, man? If you're in LA, man, please come out to a show. You guys can find me at Cheap Not Broke. Cheap Not Broke on everything. I'm trying to go live. I'm going live 3 times a week. I'm going live on Monday to talk about inflation. And tomorrow I'm going live to talk about the government shutdown. Because government shutdown is some bullshit. If they going to shut down the government, why the jail don't shut down? The police still out there putting people in jail and they still sending out tax bills. Government not shutting down, that is a lie. If the government shut down, the street lights won't work. If the government shut down, look, they won't even be out here. The subway won't even run. All this stuff is government ran. So that is a lie. And listen, the government is still cutting those checks. Congress gets paid. The president gets paid. If the government shut down, how do a president got gas for the plane? How you still flying around the government shut down? Damn lie. They lying to y'all. So I appreciate everybody tuning in, watching the show. And yeah, we're going to be so tomorrow night, we're getting back on the government shutdown because the government shutdown, it's going to stop like food stamp programs. Going to be a lot of programs out here that they're going to stop that affect black people and people who don't have any money. So black, white don't really matter. If you make under a certain amount of money, the government shutdown is really going to affect poor people. It's going to affect poor people because Congress and everybody up top in the government, they already got money. So it doesn't matter to them. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Please subscribe. Check out some of my other content. Check out some, man, and I will be back tomorrow. And we're going to talk about the government shutdown because these white people crazy and they trying to put us out, but we're not going to let them do that. Until next time. Oh, by the way, before you go, if you could, go check out cheapnotbroke.com. I got some merch. I got dope t-shirts on there for you. Got a lot of good stuff. And I also have a lot of travel videos. I travel a lot. I'm really into the travel points. Drop a comment if you want me to talk about travel because I am the credit card king. I have mastered. I went to Bangkok this past May and my flight was $500. It was originally $9, but I used 100,000 of my Amex points and it worked out for me. So if you're interested in credit card points, keep tuning into the channel and we will get on all of that. Until next time, I'll see you.